with the misery. Why the hell did I watch all of Act 3? On the 23rd of November 2024, Arcane, one of Netflix's biggest animated shows in the world, is over. I've got a cold, so if my voice is very different, it's because I'm suffering from, I think, a flu or a cold, one of the two, but yeah. For those who have been living under a rock or have a life for the last 3 years, Arcane is an animated show distributed by Netflix and created by Riot Games and Fortiche. Fortiche? No, it's Fortiche. It's Fortiche. It's a French animated company called Fortiche. The show is based on one of Riot Games' most popular video games known as League of Legends. The show focuses on some of their main players that have been around League of Legends since day one. I would like to give you a list, but it's too long. In fact, here is the list right now that you're looking right now. This is the list of the characters that the show is based on. Yeah, just enjoy and marvel at the list that I have just self-generated in post-production. So my overall review of season 2 is that this was so much better than the first season. I really enjoyed every minute of it. I've really enjoyed these last 3 weeks, watching all the 9 episodes that were released in 3 acts for the last 3 weeks. They've been a blast. They've probably been the one thing I've been excited for every single Saturday is when's the next act for Arcane coming out, because I know I'm going to be enjoying, probably 3 hours of good television. The animation is brilliant. Fortiche are willing to go above and beyond with its animation, using a blend of both 3D and 2D animation as well, making it a superb art altogether. There was a good sequence of a blend of 2D and 3D animation in Act 2 when Vander unlocks his memories of raising Vi and Jinx when they were little kids. It's just a lovely bit of 2D animation, all pencil drawn. It was humbling. It was just it was a sweet moment of a man who's lost his memories and has been blended with this wolf. He's got this beast monster inside of him, and he's trying to get healed, and you just see the memories just flowing back of who he was when he was Vander. It was just incredible. I think the music for the show is it exceeded my expectations. The songs for each episode were just brilliant. They help. The way I say it is that the music for the show helps with the story, especially during some very big sequences. For example, in Act 1, Episode 3, there was a big fight between Caitlyn, Vi, and Jinx, and at the same time, you've got Jace, Heimerdinger, and Echo going inside the Hex Core and just going through what I was thinking was the biggest trip of my life. It felt like I was literally chasing the magic dragon. It was that crazy. Another good example of music, and probably one of the best episodes of the second season, was Act 3, Episode 1, or Episode 7 of Season 2. It was just a beautiful piece of music of Echo and an alternative version of Jinx, who was actually just powder then, just having a dance and having a little bit of a romantic moment between one of the other, and I thought it was really nice. It was a way of turning a notch down from 11 to back down to maybe just 2 and 1. It was just nice. It was just beautiful bit of animation using 8 frames per second on the dance scene. I can't really say the song name because I can't speak French. This song has entered the top 10 on global Spotify at number 8 with over 5.972 million streams. That's a lot. The style and the aesthetics of it all were just unbelievable. There was an episode where we see Echo Heimerdinger in one parallel universe, and then we see Jace in another one. That universe that Jace was in, I guess you could say that was like the equivalent of Piltover, but in Vietnam. It was just insane. And the fact that he went through hell and back, he landed on a hole, broke his broke his leg with his hammer, tried to climb up, eat the bugs. It was just, it was just the epitome of hell. And the designs of these shells of humans that are blended with the hex tech, it was kind of haunting. The final battle scene in the third act was just gripping. Every single second of that moment, of that episode, was just mental. And I like the fact that we didn't get the beginning of the fight scene. We just get straight to the middle of it to see all the cannon fires, all the explosions, just war in the background. I kind of like that. Sometimes we get a lot of stuff where we see the beginning of the fight and then we go all the way through it. I want to try and do something different where we jump like halfway through it and see what, they've had the build up of like preparing themselves, and then it just jumps to like halfway through the battle and just showing that they're losing. They were getting absolutely pummeled. As much as I enjoyed all of that, there was a bit that the one thing that I had concerned about was it felt rushed, like a lot. So not a lot of our characters have a chance of breathing room, just a time to try and notch everything down. The only person that we get to see that was Echo in episode 7 or Act 3, episode 1. The rest were just going through chaos after chaos after chaos. There were certain little moments, but I mean, after everything that went down, you would at least try and, you would see everything turn down a little bit, try and get some more character development. There were some characters that were just left on the side from the Undercity, and we focused a lot more on the main characters. I mean, that's great and all that, but at the same time, we kind of need to know what was going down. So, for example, there was a moment where Caitlin gathered everyone, including the people of Zon, and you see them just walking off. There could have been a moment where they could have had a meeting together and thought to themselves, maybe we should actually fight. We need to do this. We left that council meeting as cowards. We need to go back out there and actually be heroes for once. And we never saw that. We never saw that bit. They had some of the certain characters from that area, from Zon, they had a lot of space time in the first season. And then in the second season, they just had zilch. They just had no moment. One of the characters had an arm upgrade, and there was like a good chunk of time where she actually used that arm to take down some enemies and stuff. But that was it. That's all we got from her. We got nothing else from her whatsoever. We thought she was like one of the main characters from the first season, but she just got left on the sides of the dirt like she was nothing. So there was not that much of a pause and a bit of time and try and reflect on what has happened. Like, they just went through hell. They just went through a battle that they lost against Mbessa. Mbessa lost. Victor went complete god mode and turned everyone into robots. Tried to bring a new evolution to people by turning them into robots. And obviously he died, or I don't know. I don't even know where Jason Victor went. On the last bit, I might as well say this, spoiler alerts, Jinx dies. And when I mean dies, there are some conspiracy theories that Jinx may have survived the explosion. Basically, in a nutshell, Vi and Jinx were dangling off some really weak supported metal, with Vander/Winnick also there as well. He ends up becoming the beast once more, started having a fight, and then Jinx sacrificed herself to save Vi and used a grenade and blow them all up. So Jinx sacrificed herself to save Vi from Vander/Winnick. And we see the grenade explosion. We see a blend of both blue and pink. People think that the pink is actually Jinx escaping from the explosion. For people that don't know, Jinx has been injected with something called Shimmer. This gives her the ability to travel really fast and go berserk at times. And at the end of the episode, we see a flying ship go off into the distance with Jinx's writing saying "the end." Now, if you remember from the first season, the little Jinx, or Powder, said that one day I will want to fly one of those airships. And at the end of the episode, we see a shot of that airship flying off into the distance, and everyone thinks, oh, she's actually alive. Awesome. Kind of indicating that there could be more seasons. But if you don't know, season 2 is their last season of Arcane. Like, they're not doing any more. This was, in fact, the last of their stories. This was the end of the characters' arcs. And I thought we would have like a moment of them like having a funeral. But no, instead we had people gather across the bridge and, you know, lit fire on pieces of paper and let them flicker. And that was basically their pause, their moment of reflecting, I guess. I mean, it was still beautiful to see, but I wanted more. And I think that's where the idea of like, there should have been 10 episodes for each season overall, or even better, I mean, even a couple of more episodes. Just give these characters time to breathe and develop along instead of going through chaos after chaos after chaos. So yeah, I do apologize if I went for a little bit of a rant there. You may disagree with the things that I said, or you may agree with them, but please let me know down below in the comments. I want to end this video on a tweet that I mentioned about probably the day after the release of the third act and a couple of hours after watching the last episode. Well, Arcane is over. Now what? This second season hit hard, and I was really impressed with how far the animators were willing to go with the show. But there was just one problem. Its pacing and ending. It just felt really rushed, and we never got the chance for the characters to breathe and delve more into the world of Runeterra. I know the fans will just tell me to play the game, and I have. As much as it is fun, the toxic side puts me off, and we don't get much from the game itself. Maybe I'm just in denial and breathing the last of my copium tank. This could have worked with just one more season or a couple of more episodes to end everything off. But it's not my show, it's Riot Games' and Fortitia's IP, and at the end of the day, it's their choice. But there is something to come out of this. League of Legends features multiple characters from different worlds. There are thousands and thousands of stories to discover. If this is some big plan Riot Games or Fortitia cooking up, then this is not the end. It's just the beginning.